I saw My Chemical Romance again at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. I did also see them and that was on Saturday. I did see them that was Friday. New Jersey was the Saturday before that, the 9th. Friday, August 15th is when I saw My Chemical Romance in Philadelphia. Alice Cooper opened, which was interesting. I was sending Glory pictures and she thought I was at an Alice Cooper headlining show.
I forgot that he had my chem, and he was just like, I hope Alice Cooper plays like the piss song.
I texted you that as soon as I stopped driving. That thought popped in my head while I was driving, and as soon as I parked my car, you were the first person I texted that thought, because you were the only person that would get that thought.
I was like, why is he seeing Alice Cooper? I was so fucking confused, but I was like, man, you can only hope, it's fuck, dude. Just whatever, I support you. I'm hoping, manifesting, man.
And then I sent her pictures of Alice Cooper on the My Chem stage, and she was like, oh wow. And then I sent her a picture of Tucker Rule, and I was like, that's the guy we interviewed. And she's like, wait, holy shit, you're seeing My Chem again.
I forgot that was tonight. Holy shit.
Oh man, insane. That's great. I mean, I don't expect you to carry my schedule as well. My personal
schedule. Just put your shows on the calendar so I'm not confused when you're seeing like fucking Alice Cooper again,
Oh man.
You're gonna see Rob Zombie, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing at a Rob Zombie concert, dude? That's insane.
That's great. Well, yeah, Alice Cooper opened the night, and I do think that a lot of the openers for this tour are on the weird side. That was intentional. But
maybe a little too weird.
Yeah, like they're not the typical mall emo bands that the band came up with, because all those bands would obviously jump at that opportunity as well. But I feel like with My Chem's return, that this has been a conscious decision. The openers on the reunion tour, for the most part, were a little bit out of left field. They had Thursday and Midtown and Taking Back Sunday open some of the shows, but then they had bands like Water Parks and
Turnstile
and Homeless Gospel Choir open up other parts of the show. So it was a little bit more of a mixed bag, but this out of left field picks across the board have not been something that's like, oh god, super weird for this tour. They've had Devo, Violent Femmes, Wallows, Death Cab for Cutie open the tour there so far. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that one, like all of them kind of like okay, but Wallows.
Yeah. that was the weirdest. That was the weirdest one for sure. Yeah. Although
I mean, they're good.
I personally think Violent Femmes is even weirder than that. I've seen the Violent Femmes live because my mom's a big fan, and
isn't that Cindy Lou Who's band?
I have no idea. And the fan crossover there is probably less than zero. But anyways, my point in this is that Alice Cooper opening in Philadelphia was, on paper and in actuality, one of the openers that makes the most sense fan crossover wise. Sonically, no, not a shot in hell. Alice Cooper is just a straight up rock band that's been doing it almost 40 years. But
40 goddamn years.
40 amazing years. And My Chem is, My Chem, but I feel like fan crossover wise, there's actually some overlap there. There was a lot of people around me that were super into what was going on on stage in front of them, which I thought was dope. I can't really say the same for Death Cab for Cutie, who's opened in New Jersey. They're definitely a little bit more left from center than Alice Cooper. I thought Alice Cooper was cool live. There's he kind of brought he's heading on a headline tour. This was like the first date, and then embarking on a headline tour from there. And I thought stage show wise, it was cool. It was super cool to see Nita Strauss in the flesh rip the guitar. She's an absolute animal at the guitar, and it was super dope to finally see her in person, because I like to follow her like on socials and things like that and keep up with her, even though I don't follow Alice Cooper or really even her solo stuff. I just think her as a performer is super dope. So it was cool to see her. And I thought that his stage show was really cool because, like I said, he kind of brought the headlining set with him, albeit a condensed version. So there were some theatrics, there was some stage performance outside of just them sitting there singing the songs. There were definitely some parts that were aged in the sense of like they think it's super dope because of the time they came up in, but it's not. Just like epic guitar solos where hair's flying and there's they're spinning around. Like there was one point where they panned to one of the guitarists and he was spinning but like hopping on his leg and spinning, and he thought it was the dopest shit, and I'm like, no it's not. No, it's not.
Still.
I honestly just rather you go like this and rock, whatever you're
like
doing, you're
Brides.
doing, hopping. No.
Yeah, it's like Black Veil Brides and how like every 5 minutes you look over and they're doing the back-to-back guitar.
Oh, they did plenty of that. Or they all met in the middle and and rocked out like this together, and I'm like, oh my god.
Guitar
I'm like, this is so fucking. There were certain parts where I'm like, this is like, this was cool 20 years ago, 90s. 30 years ago. And they still think it's cool now because there's the teeny bit out of touch, just a teeny bit. One thing I thought was weird, Alice Cooper did not acknowledge the fact that he was opening for My Chemical Romance at any point in the night.
When they do that. Sorry.
And listen, I understand Alice Cooper's at a point in his career where he's not doing a lot of opening shows because the opening shows would have to be at a bigger magnitude than the 20,000 cap rooms that he's headlining on his own or co-headlining with another artist. But I did think that was weird because he would not be playing in that baseball stadium if it were not for My Chemical Romance. You don't have to sit there and talk about how this opportunity wouldn't be possible without them and yada yada. But just a simple thank you would have been dope, because My Chem, shouted out how dope it was they had Alice Cooper opening for them, because that's pretty fucking cool. Alice Cooper is Alice Cooper. Sonically, I'm not a fan. Just I couldn't wait. Every song sounds the same. I'm just not a fan of him musically, but I am glad that I got to check it off the bucket list because he is a massive figure in the rock scene, and the stage show does prove that, but sonically it just doesn't do it for me.
That's fair.
My Chem absolutely fucking ripped. I actually thought that this set, and it pains me to say it because Jersey was the hometown, the big show, the pinnacle, all that bullshit. But I did think that Philadelphia was a bit of a tighter set. I think they got some of the there were parts of the set theatrically that happened in Philly that didn't happen in New Jersey, and it did feel like the band got thrown a little off their game, like when they got the key to Belleville and things like that.
Say, they probably had to cut things.
And they got a little thrown off their game. Like they kind of just, there's an execution during the set, because why wouldn't there be? And they just kind of flew through it in New Jersey because Gerard was like, oh fuck, we have to kill people, because they just gotten the key to Belleville. It also happened before Welcome to Black Parade, whereas in Philly it happened after. I don't know if that was a mistake or what, but I did think it was tighter. All the theatrics happened, at least as far as I'm concerned. There was things that happened on stage there that didn't happen in New Jersey. I just, maybe because it was my second time seeing the set and I was able to kind of enjoy it a little bit more because I kind of knew what was going to happen and all that. I just thought the show overall, the production nonetheless is very impressive. What's going on there, the fact that this band is playing stadiums, is all very impressive, and the show is incredible. And if it's going near you, there's a handful of dates left. The resale a couple days before, maybe not right now, but like a day or two out, I would recommend, day of, when it drops to below face value, I would recommend going. I wouldn't recommend going and spending $500 or $600 to be there per ticket, but the show is incredible. The other reason why I say it was phenomenal is because I personally thought that the B stage songs were even stronger this time around, and I'll read them off to you because I pulled the set list up. Head First for Halos, Bury Me in Black, I'm Not Okay, Destroya, Heaven Help Us, Give 'Em Hell Kid, The Foundations of Decay, Na Na Na, Na 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 Na, Helena, and closing off with The Kids from Yesterday.
Wait, okay. Did you say Give 'Em Hell Kid?
I said Give 'Em Hell Kid. And that run is Head First for Halos, Bury Me in Black, I'm Not Okay, Destroya, Heaven Help Us, Give 'Em Hell Kid. That's what I'm talking about. Life-changing.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. I mean, they opened with Head First for Halos. I love that song. It's off Bullets. And
Yeah.
then
You got like 3 Bullets songs in the 2 shows you went to, right?
yeah, because they played a bunch of Bullets. You know, in New Jersey they played Skylines and Turnstiles, which is very fitting. But yeah, when Head First for Halos into Bury Me in Black, I was like, holy shit. The only song I didn't get that I wanted was the unreleased song that they played at a couple of the dates. But I wouldn't have known that song if it was coming at me head on. They would have had to announce it, otherwise I totally would have missed.
Coming on you head first, head on.
Headstrong.
Headstrong,
Yeah.
I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone. Plus you blocked, right? That's crazy.
He blocked me. Yeah. And I don't think I've heard any of the B-sides off the Black Parade Live, so checking off Heaven Help Us was pretty cool. But yeah, that
Have they played Kill All Your Friends?
I have no idea.
That's like one of my favorite My Chem songs. I don't know. That just hit me. I don't know why I asked you. Like you're like the encyclopedia. Like you have like every set list in front of you. But I just
no. That song.
I felt like you knew.
That song does rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, the B stage was really strong. And I just kind of enjoyed the show just a tiny bit more, which again, like I said, pains me to say, being from New Jersey, getting to see the band in their home state play the biggest stage that you can possibly play here. I just thought they brought it just a tiny bit harder in Philadelphia. I also thought that the closing, the B stage set list was great. Although in New Jersey, yeah, you can't compete with like 3 Bullet songs. And it's not a fashion statement. It's a fucking death wish. Like you can't compete with that lineup either. It's a 6 of one, half to the other kind of equation. But like I said, this tour is absolutely phenomenal. Getting to experience it twice was quite the treat. You know, seeing this band play the biggest stages of their career, not putting any music out, just, you know, going and touring the, you know, one of the biggest records in the scene, and playing to 40,000 people, you know, once a week, because there's 1 or 2 shows a week. They're just doing weekends. Is very, very impressive. And, you know, quite the achievement for My Chemical Romance. They're selling out dates.
So cute how they're only doing like weekends. They're so old.
They're selling out. They're selling out overseas as well, international. So yeah, this is it's just insane to see, and I'm very, very, very stoked, and need new music. That's basically where I'm at.
The parasocial fan in me is like, I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing so good. These men, their band broke up before I found them. You know, they don't know me. My pride is going nowhere, you know? But that's there, you know? Yeah. Shout out My Chem.
Shout out My Chem.